Morning everyone, and welcome to our first ever socially distanced Illuminations preview here at Lightworks. Today is very much about giving the media and our sponsors a sneak preview of the 2020 Blackpool Illuminations. And I'm sure you'll be as excited as I am about the things we have in store. As you know, 2020 has seen the cancellation of many shows and events, but I'm delighted that we're here today to talk about something that will be going ahead as planned. In a few moments, you will hear from Laurence about what's new in the Illuminations this year, and in particular about a special tribute we are planning to play tribute to some very special people. As you can imagine, this has been a very challenging year for everyone. So today is about showcasing the Illuminations, which will play a really important part in helping our tourism industry to recover. This is the key reason why we've made the decision to extend the Illumination season from September the 4th all the way through to January the 3rd, 2021. I'm sure Laurence will want to talk more about our sponsors, but I would like just to take the opportunity to thank all of those who support us, and especially the team here at Blackpool Illuminations, who have continued to work all year round to bring us the greatest free light show on earth. Please enjoy your morning here at Lightworks, and do make sure that you follow all of our safety guidelines while you're here. Thank you very much. Over to Laurence.
Thank you very much indeed, Gillian. I think the big thing here is this year is about a celebration. The big celebration is that it's happening, that it is actually still, we are still turning the lights on. You know, all over the country, so many events, as Gillian was saying, have had to be pulled. But actually, because of the Illuminations' iconic status, it is incredibly important, we feel, for everybody, to have the focus that really designates how special Blackpool is, and what an incredible part of the nation's psyche the Illuminations are as well. The thing that we've worked very hard to do for 2020 is, however, get the tone right. And that is incredibly important. We have faced, as we all know, as a nation, as a world, absolutely unprecedented challenges this year. And we felt it was incredibly important that the Illuminations, which is a celebration, should also be incredibly topical, should have its feet inside the experience that people have gone through. And so, as Gillian alluded to, you know, our big headline is the Corona Heroes Illumination, which we've created specially for now, specially for this world. Effectively, it's a very, very simple, straightforward idea. We have encouraged the public to get in touch and nominate anyone, any frontline individuals that they feel have a special designation to become hardwired, literally, into the Illuminations this year. And it has been absolutely extraordinarily moving to go through the nominations, the kind of language that people have been using to describe NHS workers, to describe all the people that have been tirelessly, absolutely tirelessly, trying absolutely everything they've got to keep the nation safe. And we felt that it was, without question, incredibly important that this year's Illuminations should be a celebration of that heroism, that very, very special heroism. So we will be working on finding our top 50, and it's incredibly difficult, for goodness sake, out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nominations we've got, to try and find 50 heroes that we can use as the focus, as the icons, as the every men and women that celebrate the efforts and the commitment and everything that people have given to get us out of this crisis. The interesting thing is, as well, is that actually, as an illumination, it's also showcasing a new design element, which we're very excited about. It's something that we have used in a small scale way. with some of the illuminations, but basically it's an LED neon, which you can see all the way around here. Now this is going to make an enormous impact on the way that the illuminations look. It is incredibly elegant, it's very flexible, it also takes colour very well, and the vision is to make sure that we start integrating this incredibly environmentally friendly but very high impact aesthetic device throughout the illuminations as much as possible. We want, over the next few years, to be able to really start curating the illuminations experience to feel very tailored, to feel very focused, to feel very colourful, but to really celebrate the fact that now modern technology has kind of caught up with the glamour and excitement that the illuminations always had at its core. And so we've used it as a great way of ensuring that we're thanking the NHS carers. As you can see, we're quite rainbows a-go-go at the moment. Rainbows everywhere, isn't that lovely? The other thing, of course, the other big story of 2020 was the anniversary of VE Day, and I think everybody felt that was an incredibly moving moment. It was a moment where we, as a nation, didn't come together as we would traditionally, but that it was something that really penetrated the psyche. And this is something that is going to be, we feel, an incredibly popular part of the Illumination. I don't know whether any of you noticed the Spitfire standing next to me here. I mean, obviously it's doing its best to look as discreet as possible. We've been working very closely with the experts at Hangar 42 to create something that on the Gin roundabout that I think people are going to find unbelievably iconic. The Spitfire, which always has had a tremendous link to Blackpool. This is one of the ones based on three that were bought by Blackpool. And it will give us an opportunity to really give that sort of showstopper right at the heart of the illuminations, but also link everyone back into what a special year 2020 was. We have been incredibly lucky in the illuminations. We've developed such a close working relationship with so many sponsors, all of whom have been so energized into making sure that they keep the lights illuminated. I've got a list that I just quickly like to go through. The Elgin Hotel, Northern Rail, who are coming back, Genting, who's been up there for a while, Beaverbrooks, who we've had for ages, Cubbies, Sooty, of course, the icon that is Sooty. What can you do? What can you say about Sooty other than R? Hounshill, Best West Carlton Hotel, and then we have the newness that is Hangar 42 with the Spitfire. And also, very excitingly, we have the Women's Institute, who are a body of lovely ladies who we've been cultivating for a while, haven't we? But that's now borne fruit in the illumination that you can see over there. But the other thing is as well is that quietly we have been working very hard to ensure that actually the entire illuminations offer for 2020 will have a much stronger commitment to the colour choreography that we started a couple of years ago. It's all about trying to refine and improve that offer. The other huge bit of news is that one of our great favourites, I mean, one of the things I think is always amazes me, always astounds me, is the long-term affection that the people of Blackpool and the people that come to Blackpool have for very, very specific illuminations and particularly tableaus. You know, one should never underestimate the sense of legacy and heritage that we have with some of these illuminations. There are people who come here who have their photograph taken in front of something. They have photographs in their albums of their parents standing there, their grandparents standing there. This is one of the things that I think we've always really tried to achieve, is to balance innovation and newness and the exciting and the show-stopping, but balance it with the heritage, balance it with the legacy. And one of the big things about that is that actually with a lot of these heritage illuminations, these historical tableaus, they take an enormous amount of maintenance. They are very, very high maintenance bits of kit compared to the impact that we can express through some of the digital work and some of the LED work. So it's been wonderful that this year Coral Island have taken on the Pirate Tableau. The Pirate Tableau always was one of the real showstoppers, the real eye catchers. I have to now say that I have resisted the temptation to have one of the pirates painted to look like me. I thought about it, but then I thought no. But instead, I'm going to look like the pirate, which I think is a much better way around. So what I'm going to do now is hand over to Jeff McNamara, who's the Resort Operations Director from Coral Island, because this is a new relationship that we've evolved and something that I hope is going to go forward into the future. So Jeff, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Campbell, Mr. Llewelyn Bowen, Mark Windows and the team at the Illuminations here today. If you do want a pirate dressed as yourself, I'm sure we can arrange that. It's not a problem.
I spend my life dressed as a pirate, it's fine.
My name is Jeff McNamara. I'm the Resorts Director for Coral Island. Just wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about Coral Island and what we do and what's there. Coral Island is based between the Tower and the Sea Life Centre in the centre of the promenade. It's the biggest family entertainment centre in Europe. We operate over 700 amusement type machines, 5 family restaurants, we've got a casino, we've got a nightclub, we've got children's rides, and obviously we've got the traditional seaside prize bingo. So we've got a bit in there for everybody that comes to Blackpool. We operate the traditional types of family games, the 2p penny falls, the toy crane grabbers, all the way up to the new redemption prize ticket payout machines and virtual reality simulators. We've got one of the biggest ticket prize shops the biggest ticket prize shop in Blackpool. Our customers win approximately 100 million tickets a year throughout the season, so as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of work that goes into the amount of tickets that go out and quite a lot of work that goes into the prizes that the family win. Our chip shops would be proud to be part of the National Fish Fryers Association. We do pride ourselves in Coral Island for our service, our standards and our value for money. Our target audience obviously is families, which really the direction that Blackpool has gone in the last number of years is the target audience, the target market that we want to come to the resorts. Therefore, to get the opportunity to sponsor the Pirate Tableau was a no-brainer for Coral Island. When I was invited down to spend the morning at the Lightworks here, I must say I was impressed by the passion and the dedication that all of the team that we met and we spoke to that showed us around. And it's quite amazing the amount of work that has to go on behind the scenes to enable something like the Illuminations to work and continue to work each year. As a dad of 3 young children and a southerner, it's easy to forget the excitement and the enjoyment that the Illuminations bring, especially as you live in and around Blackpool or are born here. You get used to it. It's part of your life. I'm not from around here. I've been here about 7 years now. So it's easy to forget what an amazing thing it is and what a big part it does play in family visits to Blackpool, obviously during the Illuminations. So to be involved with the refurbishment of the popular Pirate Tableau was absolutely in getting to theme it up almost as part of an extension to Coral Island was something very exciting for us and something that we're really, really looking forward to seeing the final product this year. My children obviously now think that I'm in charge of the Illuminations and that I'm responsible for ensuring that every single light works. So for the last couple of years, every time we drive down the Illuminations, they take great joy in pointing out the bulbs that might be out. Not that there's many.
We don't have bulbs out.
No, there's not many, but they're insistent on telling me each individual one as it is. So it just leaves me to say thank you very much for allowing Coral Island to be associated with the Illuminations. We are very proud to be able to do so. I'd also like to wish good luck to all the operators and the businesses in the resort for the coming or the second start of the season, which, as we all know, is going to be very challenging for everybody. So, thank you very much.
And yeah, I mean, this is something that, you know, we are so proud of. It's really nice to have a friend like Jeff. We would love more friends like Jeff. It's particularly wonderful to be able to take a brand like Coral Island and find a synchronicity within the Illuminations. It's a great way of giving Jeff exposure and ensuring that something like the Pirate Tableau, which is such an incredibly important part of the heritage of Blackpool, not only survives, but actually is reincarnated, is revivified. Now, the Illuminations itself will obviously not feel the same. The experience of visiting the Illuminations can't feel the same this year. But there's an enormous amount of effort being used to ensure that it is every bit as exciting, it is every bit as iconic as it's always been. And of course, that's very much focused into the Lightpool Festival. So I'd now like to invite Phil Holmes to give us a teaser of this year's festival. Phil.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this momentous day. It's been a strange year, but Lightpool Festival is a challenge. We've risen to the challenge, and we've come up with some amazing things for this year. It's our 5th year, and it will be held from the 16th to the 31st of October. I'd like to pay an amazing tribute to Fox Brothers, a local company that are now one of the biggest haulage companies in the Northwest, and they will be joining us as the lead sponsor for this year. And they will also be bringing something else to the festival that is kind of to my left, which we will explain a bit about later. So thank you to Fox Brothers and welcome to Lightpool Festival. Part of Lightpool Festival is building up strong relationships and partnerships, and we've had a partnership with Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London now for many years. And this year we will be displaying one of the works that their students did towards their degree, and it's called Big Bird. That was originally created for the Beasts of London. It's 3.5 metres high, weighs 1.5 tonnes, and is made out of the parts of 10 London taxis. Not as crazy as you might think, it does look amazing. And we're doing some works at the moment to illuminate it. So if you see a big pigeon perched in the middle of Blackpool, then that's down to Lightpool. We are also doing some work with Guildhall School of Music with their students towards their degree to make an amazing 3D projection mapping onto the former post office in Abingdon Street. That will be an amazing projection that will bring the building to life and goes towards their coursework for their degree. Last year, in partnership with UCLAD, we premiered a new work called Sun. That was a 7-metre sphere projecting actual NASA data and imagery of the sun. So we're carrying on that partnership this year and making a projection with them onto St. John's Church that will involve a rocket that blasts off from the church that will then go around the sun and again show you actual footage from NASA of the sun. And we'll also be building an education programme with local schools. So that's something to look forward to. The fourth thing that we're doing is this new work called Aqualux, tentatively. And it's 48 1,000-litre water containers that will be lit from the inside to make a huge artwork. This artwork is going to be 8 metres long, 4 metres high and 2 metres wide. And if you take a look at the amazing pirate ship, that gives you an idea of the size of the work. To make it different and to bring Lightpool to people that live in Blackpool, the Peterbilt that you see here will actually tour with this work around Blackpool. So the idea would be it would go around Blackpool, at key locations it would stop, we'd invite people to take photos, and also with this we're sending a message about water. The reason we have 48 containers is that that's roughly the amount of water that an average person uses in a year, so 48,000 litres, and our grandparents only use 3. So that goes to show how much water we're actually consuming now than what we were all those years ago. We'll also be bringing the pooches back, so we'll be doing more Loomie Dogs workshops, which always go down extremely well. So if you see dogs around town that are lit up in crazy costumes, then again you know that's part of Lightpool Festival. The tower projections are obviously back this year, but they will run until the 9th of November. The tower projections onto the tower are always amazingly popular. We haven't released this year's programme yet, but we will be doing so later. So the Lightpool Festival, the 16th to the 31st of October, the programme's constantly changing, so keep your eye open, keep your ears open for what we've got coming. It's going to be an amazing year. Thank you.
I think this is one of the big bits of news, as far as we're all concerned, is that Blackpool will still be a shining guiding light here throughout the autumn and now through into the winter as well. And I think that as everybody looks at what 2020 has been and what 2020 will become, it is incredibly important for everyone to feel that there are still some things that are there. There are things that are familiar. There are lighthouses in the midst of this storm. And Blackpool has always been an incredibly iconic element to the way that we celebrate fun, the way that we enjoy ourselves, and that continues, which is marvellous. I've been saving the best till last. As a grand finale, I now would like to treat you all as a small gift of thanks for your support and for the fact that you're here, to the world premiere of the projection and laser ad show that we will be running as part of this year's Illuminations. So please feel free to sit back. Unfortunately, we have no popcorn, but enjoy yourselves as we lose ourselves into this extraordinary cinematic experience. Gentlemen, press that button.
The BBC Home Service. Here is the news. In the House of Commons this afternoon, the Prime Minister, Mr. Churchill, said, "What General de Gaulle called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin."